Okay, so really great to have all your learning materials here with us, your notes, articles, that video transcript you sent over.
Yeah, thanks for sharing those.
Our mission here, for this deep dive is basically to boil it all down. We want to pull out the really crucial stuff, the insights that matter most.
Save you some time, make it stick, right? Without feeling like you're drowning in information.
Exactly. Think of it like a shortcut to getting the key takeaways. And today we're zeroing in on effective learning, really effective study strategies, mostly drawing from that video transcript you provided.
It's a good one. Really practical stuff.
Totally. And it touches on something I think we've all felt, right? You read something, maybe sit through a whole lecture, and you feel like you're getting it.
But then later, poof, it's gone. Or fuzzy, at least.
Right. And the video starts with this great question. How long can a typical college freshman actually learn effectively while reading?
Good question.
Yeah.
What did people guess in the video?
Oh, all over the place. Some said 5 minutes, some guessed like an hour or even more. Wildly different.
Yeah, I bet. It's hard to gauge your own focus accurately sometimes.
For sure. And that's where this University of Michigan study comes in that the speaker mentioned.
Ah, okay. What do they do?
It's pretty clever, actually. They just had students track themselves, pinpoint the exact moment they felt they stopped really learning. Like, the words are still going in, but the understanding isn't happening anymore.
So self-reporting when the focus dipped.
Exactly. And the typical finding, it was around 25 to 30 minutes.
Wow. Only half an hour or so.
Yeah. Basically, the takeaway was our brains often kind of check out after about half an hour of reading, even if we think we're still trucking along.
That makes sense, actually. Thinking about lectures, you might be there for 50 minutes, but that peak attention is probably in the first half hour.
Absolutely. The speaker even notes that how lectures are often 50 minutes, but maybe our best learning window is shorter. Okay, so to really hit this home, there's this story about a freshman, Jeanette,
Okay.
got a D average first quarter, decided she needed to get serious. Her plan, 6 hours of studying every single night, Sunday through Thursday.
Whoa. 6 hours a night. That's intense dedication. You'd think that would guarantee success.
You absolutely would. And that's the kicker. Despite all that time, her GPA the next quarter was 0.
0. She failed everything.
Failed every class. Such a stark example, isn't it? More hours doesn't automatically mean more learning. It's got to be about the quality of that time.
It really drives home that difference between just, putting in seat time versus actually engaging your brain effectively.
Yeah. The speaker uses this kind of graphical analogy, which I found helpful. Imagine your study efficiency on a graph over time.
Okay.
So Jeanette starts studying, say, 6 p.m. Efficiency is high. Good start. But maybe around 6:30, it just tanks.
Right. Hits that 30-minute wall we talked about.
Exactly. But her goal was 6 hours, right? So she just sits there until midnight, even though for maybe 5.5 of those hours, she wasn't really learning much, if anything.
Just physically present.
Yeah.
And probably getting more and more frustrated.
Totally. And that brings in this basic psych principle the speaker mentions, reinforcement. We do things that feel good. We avoid things that feel bad.
Makes sense.
So 5.5 hours of feeling unproductive and maybe even stupid while studying, that's negative reinforcement.
Yeah, it would make you dread studying even more. You start associating the whole act with feeling bad.
Precisely. She probably started hating the subjects even. So the first big actionable takeaway here is the second you feel your focus drift, take a break.
Don't just push through the fog.
Right. Stop. Step away, even though it might feel counterintuitive, like you're slacking off.
But the research backs this up. Short breaks help.
Hugely beneficial, yeah. And the speaker emphasizes keeping them short, like 5 minutes is often enough.
Okay, 5 minutes. Not a half-hour YouTube spiral.
Definitely not. It's a quick reset. Do something enjoyable. Call someone, listen to one song, grab a quick snack, whatever feels like a little treat.
So the break itself becomes a reward for the focused work you just did.
Exactly. It reframes the break as part of the strategy, not a failure of concentration. You're working with your brain's rhythm.
Okay, I like that.
So think back to Jeanette's 6 hours. What if, instead of that long slog, she did, say, 30 minutes focus, 5-minute break? Repeat that cycle.
Okay, so over 6 hours? That's what, maybe 11 30-minute study blocks?
Something like that. And about 55 minutes total break time, spread out, which means she'd get maybe 5 hours and 5 minutes of actual focused study.
Compared to maybe 30 minutes of effective study in her original 6-hour marathon. That's a massive difference.
Huge. Quality over quantity. Now, closely related is the idea of rewards after the whole study session is done for the day.
Okay, like a bigger reward.
Yeah. The speaker gives his own example, admits it's maybe a bit politically incorrect now, but he used to go for a beer after he finished studying for the day.
Ah, the post-study reward.
The key is post, after the work, not before, not during. That positive reinforcement links the effort with a payoff.
Right. And he mentioned state-dependent memory too, didn't he? Studying under one condition, like, say, after drinking.
Yeah, you'll recall it better under the same condition, which is not helpful for taking a test sober.
Definitely not the goal.
But the bigger point is these breaks and rewards used consistently help build your study stamina. You train your brain to focus longer over time and associate studying with, not being miserable.
Like training a muscle, you gradually increase the duration.
Exactly. Okay, let's shift gears. Where do you actually study? The environment.
Yeah, that's important.
The speaker asks, how many people have a dedicated study room? Probably not many. He predicts most students study where?
In their bedroom. That seems likely. Or maybe the kitchen table.
Spot on. Bedroom is number one, then dining, kitchen table, maybe the living room.
And the issue there is
Yeah,
those places already have strong associations, right?
totally. Our brains are wired by environmental cues. The bedroom means sleep, intimacy. Dining room means food. Living room means relaxing, TV, socializing.
So trying to study there sends mixed signals. Your brain's getting pulled in different directions.
The speaker uses that funny example about being near the Tacoma Mall, asking people if they've been there, and hands shoot up automatically. It's that environmental trigger.
Right. Classroom context equals raise hand.
And the bedroom context equals sleep. He talks about the siren call of the bed, how easy it is to just lie down for a second.
And it's morning.
Yeah, been there.
He mentions University of Hawaii research, students in dorms, these multi-purpose rooms, really struggling to get into study mode.
Because the space is used for everything. Eating, sleeping, socializing, studying, no clear signal.
Which leads to this brilliant, simple experiment, the study lamp.
Okay, intrigued. What's the study lamp?
Super simple. You designate one lamp, could be a desk lamp, any lamp, and that lamp is only turned on when you are actively studying, period.
Only for studying. Nothing else. Nothing else by that lamp. No dressing, no phone calls, no snacks, no daydreaming. If you're in your bedroom, maybe turn your desk so you're not facing the bed. Have all your stuff ready before you turn it on.
Got it. Create a specific study zone linked to that light.
And crucially, the moment you feel your focus dip, the moment you're not actively learning.
Turn the lamp off
Yeah.
and leave the spot.
Exactly. Take that break we talked about, but physically leave the study lamp zone.
So you're conditioning your brain. Lamp on, focus time. Lamp off, break time, or done time, like Pavlov's dog. But for study?
Kind of, yeah. It's creating a really strong, specific environmental cue for concentration, just like the hand-raising cue in the classroom example.
And did it work? What were the results?
Pretty amazing, actually. The students who used the study lamp consistently saw their grades increase by, on average, 1 full grade point.
Wow, a whole grade point, just from using a lamp strategically.
Yeah, compared to a control group, it just shows how powerful creating that dedicated mental and physical space can be.
That's a really practical tip people can implement pretty easily.
For sure. And he gives quick tips for other spaces, too. Kitchen dining, clear away food cues, living room, turn off the TV, maybe use the lamp there, too. Minimize those built-in distractions.
So the first two big pillars are break study into chunks with breaks and rewards, and create a dedicated study space with a strong cue, like the lamp.
You got it. Okay, third key principle, active learning.
This is crucial. Moving beyond just passive reading.
Right. The speaker contrasts it with just rereading notes or the textbook over and over. That often becomes rote memorization.
Which he admits can work for some things, maybe pure facts.
But it's usually not efficient, and it's definitely not great for understanding deeper concepts.
And that's the main goal in college, usually. Understanding concepts, not just memorizing isolated facts.
Exactly. Facts are like Freud founded psychoanalysis, or the names of bones. Concepts are how psychoanalysis works, or how the bones function together in the skeleton.
Right, understanding the why and how, not just the what.
And concepts stick with you longer. Plus, as the speaker says, you can usually Google a fact if you forget it. Understanding is harder to look up.
True. You need that internal framework.
He uses that radio song analogy, knowing the lyrics, facts, versus understanding the song's meaning or story, the concept.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So the big test for conceptual understanding, ask yourself, Can I put this in my own words?
Without just parroting the definition.
Exactly. If you can't explain it simply in your own terms, you probably don't truly get it yet.
You're just recognizing the words, not retrieving the meaning.
He gives that great example. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny.
Right, sounds impressive. Means nothing without explanation.
But then he breaks it down. Ontogeny, individual development, recapitulates, retraces, phylogeny, species evolutionary history,
Yeah.
and uses the embryo analogy how different animal embryos look similar early on.
Suddenly the abstract phrase clicks. It has meaning.
And that's the key, making information meaningful, connecting it to what you already know.
Meaningful info sticks. Meaningless info just floats away.
He does that quick memory demo, jumbled letters, Y-T-R-H-U-S-P-D, pay-H, hard to recall.
But rearrange them.
Happy Thursday, easy. Same letters, but now they have meaning. Our brain grabs onto meaning.
And that links to the depth of processing idea, right? The vowels versus usefulness experiment.
Oh yeah, classic study. One group counts vowels in words, very shallow processing.
Another group rates how useful the items would be on a desert island, much deeper processing, thinking about meaning and application.
And the deep processing group remembers way more words later, no contest.
So the more you think about the meaning of something, how it connects, how you'd use it, the stronger the memory trace.
It's about actively wrestling with the material, not just letting your eyes skim over it,
Yeah.
which makes study groups, as the speaker points out, potentially really valuable.
Yeah, often underutilized. Explaining things to others, debating points, hearing different tastes, it forces that deeper processing.
He mentions how crucial they are in fields like medicine. Peers can often clarify things in ways instructors might miss.
Because they just struggle through it themselves, maybe?
Could be. Now contrast that active approach with a really common but often ineffective habit, highlighting.
Ah, the highlighter trap. We've all been there.
If you highlight everything, it's like highlighting nothing, right?
Yeah.
And worse, you see that yellow page later and think, oh yeah, I know this.
But it's false confidence. It's recognition, not recall. You haven't proven you can pull it out of your brain cold.
So the antidote is active recall. The speaker's advice. Read a bit. Then.
Look away. Close the book.
And explain it out loud, in your own words, without looking.
That's the moment of truth. If you can do that, you know it. If you stumble, you know where the gaps are.
Exactly. Okay, a couple more important related points. Sleep. Can't skip this.
Definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
Crucial for learning.
The speaker talks about REM sleep being vital for memory consolidation, moving info from short-term to long-term storage.
So pulling an all-nighter before an exam,
Mm-hmm.
really counterproductive for actually remembering the material long-term.
Totally. It might feel like you're cramming, but you're sabotaging the consolidation process. He also mentions things like sleep apnea negatively impacting memory.
Makes sense. Anything that disrupts good sleep hurts memory.
And briefly, time management. His point is simple. Everyone has the same 24 hours. It's how you use them.
Prioritizing effectively.
And a super practical tip. Expand on your lecture notes right away.
Yeah, don't wait days. Do it while it's fresh.
Add details, clarify scribbles, fill in gaps, maybe compare notes with a friend, or ask the instructor if something's unclear. Don't let it fade.
Instructors usually want you to ask questions, too. They want you to succeed.
Absolutely. Okay, circling back to active learning, he really hammers home recitation.
Saying it out loud, teaching it.
Yeah, teach it to your roommate, your cat, an empty chair, it doesn't matter. The act of formulating it and saying it reveals what you don't know.
He cites research suggesting maybe 80% of study time should be spent reciting, testing yourself.
80%. That's way more than most people probably spend. Most time is spent passively reading.
It's a big shift in approach.
Then there's the textbook, often expensive, maybe underused, but potentially a great tool.
They're usually designed pedagogically, structured to help you learn.
And he introduces a specific method for using them, SQ3R.
Ah, yes. Survey, question, read, recite, review. Classic method.
Can you quickly break that down?
Sure. Survey. Skim the chapter first headings, summaries, pictures, get the big picture, question. Turn headings into questions before you read. This primes your brain.
Okay, creates that search mechanism he mentioned.
Exactly. Then read. Actively read to answer your questions. Recite. After each section, look away and summarize in your own words that active recall again. Review. Go back over your notes and the main points later on.
Sounds thorough. Definitely more active than just reading start to finish.
Way more active. Engages you at multiple levels.
Okay, finally, what about memorizing those stubborn facts when you just need to nail down a list or a definition?
Mnemonics. Memory tricks. Much better than rote repetition usually.
He covers three main types, right?
Yeah. Acronyms, coined sayings, and interacting images.
Okay, acronyms are like first letter tricks.
Exactly. ROYG, BIV for rainbow colors. Or same sensory afferent, motor efferent for nerve types.
Got it. Handy for lists. He mentioned a student's example, RIG.
Yeah, right. Atrium deoxygenated. To remember the blood type in that heart chamber. Simple, effective.
Okay, then coined sayings.
These are little rhymes or sentences where words help you remember. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
30 days half September. For months. Or, my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas for the planets. Well, before Pluto got demoted.
Still works for the main 8. Okay, last one. Interacting images. He seemed keen on this one.
Yeah, these can be really powerful because our brains are very visual. You link items together in a strange or vivid mental picture.
Like the nutrition example, calories and macronutrients.
Right. Protein and carbs have 4 calories per gram. So picture a car, carbs, with 4 wheels, maybe a PRO athlete driving the car. Protein, still 4 wheels.
Okay, 4 calories. And fat.
9 calories per gram. So picture a big FAT cat with 9 lives.
Huh. That's memorable because it's weird.
Exactly. The stranger, funnier, or more vivid the image, the better it sticks. He even had one for alcohol, 7 calories per gram. Alcohol has 7 letters. Maybe picture Seagram 7 whiskey.
Whatever works to create that mental hook.
Precisely. It's about making connections.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot, really digging into these strategies from your sources.
Yeah, lots of actionable stuff there.
So just to kind of wrap up the big themes, it really seems to come down to studying smarter, not just longer or harder.
Definitely. Focus intensely, but in shorter bursts. Take those breaks. Use them as rewards.
Create that dedicated study space, that mental trigger zone with something like the study lamp.
Massively important. Control your environment.
And then really lean into active learning. Don't just read, put it in your own words, recite it. Test yourself constantly.
Explain it to someone else. Use mnemonics for the fiddly bits. That's where the real understanding and memory come from.
It's definitely a shift away from just passively absorbing information or trying to brute force it with sheer hours.
It is, but likely a much more effective and probably less frustrating way to learn.
So thinking about all this, maybe the provocative thought for you, the listener, is what's one small change you could realistically make to how you study next time based on these ideas?
Yeah, which one of these techniques kind of jumped out at you? Maybe starting with just one thing like trying the short breaks or setting up a study lamp could make a noticeable difference.
Give that some thought. And honestly, thank you so much for sharing your materials and letting us do this deep dive with you.
Yeah, it was great fun digging into this.
Yeah.
Hope it was helpful.